My name is Robert Christopher Wayne Weathers. I live at 3102 Center Hill Road, Acre, Mississippi, 38841. I am under attack by Scientology. There's more space in the universe than humans can see. There are 11 dimensions. We have biology in these extra dimensions. We utilize this biology to have an afterlife. Scientology is the practice of utilizing this biology before you die. They remove it from themselves and utilize technology and techniques to turn it into an upper dimensional vehicle. They can drive around. This technology allows them to do several things. First, it allows them to assimilate themselves into a hive mind. They interface technology with their neural tissue and their nervous system, and it links them to a computer system. From there, they can communicate with each other, and they can interact with each other in a digital landscape. This technology also allows for the creation of surrogates. They can drive other organisms. They can drive humans, animals, insects, worms. This technology artificially stimulates neural tissue and it elevates neurochemistry. So there's an entanglement property between us and our extra dimensions. If they are removed from us, we still experience everything this biology goes through. We are still in this biology, so to speak. They are mutilating mine. Mine has been removed. They have utilized some of it for transplant purposes. Some of it they utilize for surrogate purposes. Some of it they're torturing. They have in their possession the part of my brain that I sleep in. They have it all wired up with sensors all in it, wired into a machine. They force me to have simulated dreams. Last night they destroyed that part of my brain. They are petty, jealous, delusional, psychotic, irritable. They have addictive behavior. They get irritated and angry if I have any sort of pleasure or if my body functions properly. They don't want me to have the pleasure of sleeping. They torture people. This started this started with kidnapping. I used to be a political activist on Facebook. I wrote a lot of literature. I had a large following. I was a big influencer in politics and public. Somebody decided to assimilate me into the world of Scientology. They removed biology and installed technology in my biology. They tried to take over my life. They tried to control me, tell me what to do. Then they started stealing my intellectual property. They started selling seats to other Scientologists to allow them to experience my mind space. They seen value in watching me create, and this gave them the opportunity to steal my intellectual property, my works. Then it turned into biological theft. They removed the body parts that pertained or that allowed me to write, to create. They used it for transplant purposes and for surrogate making purposes. Then it turned into a snuff film, torture. So these people are conditioned to practice Scientology. They remove body parts for a living and modify these body parts. Then they stick foreign objects inside of us, digital devices. They are conditioned to do this, coupled with their criminal behavior. They kidnap people, exploit people, they rape, torture, murder, they make people sick, they steal biology from people, they invade people's homes, invade their privacy, they stalk people, they destroy our environments, they like to contaminate food and water sources. They use weapons of mass destruction, biological warfare. They like to give people parasites and viruses because they can drive them through our biology. They are addicted to torturing me. I am very sick. Yes, we are still in our biology, even if it's removed from us. I am very sick. My brain hurts. It feels numb. devoid of neurochemistry. So our heavenly bodies come with special abilities. We have powerful eyesight. We can see in all dimensions, down to the molecular level. We can see our biology's functioning. We can see things like neurochemistry or neurochemical energy. We can see the electricity flowing through our nervous system. They can see particles flowing through our biology. They can see how our organs function. And they can interact with this aspect of our reality. These abilities are supposed to be for helping life develop. They're supposed to keep us healthy and help us to develop an afterlife. Scientology is abusing these abilities to practice Scientology and to hurt people. They have removed every bit of my biology they can. Normally, the Scientologists, they leave some behind so we can function properly. They keep sticking other people's body parts inside of me and 3D printing over top of me to cover up what they've done. I'm very sick. They're doing the same thing to my family and my animals. They see body parts as commodities. They are objects of a value to these people, other people's biology and their own. They are something that can be utilized to practice Scientology. They can be stimulated. You can give a person pleasure with them. You can allow a person to communicate with them. You can allow a person to access the upper dimensions with them. They can even be utilized to create surrogates, other organisms these people can drive. These people trade body parts. They sell body parts on the black market. And if you're attractive or famous or have a career in which they desire, like sports professionals or entertainment professionals or persons of interest, famous people, people with authority or power, your body parts fetch higher prices. You're more valuable to them. I don't want digital devices. They hurt. So humans, the place that I'm talking about lies within the inverse. They call it the inverse. There is a place inside of the particles in which we consist of. It's a place where there's no space. It looks as if all the energy, all the matter in the universe is one particle. They all touch. Our biology grows that way. It grows inside of the particle. So the human bloodline creates an 11-dimensional humanoid with horns on our head. We are supposed to die, cleave ourselves, and fly into outer space. You literally grab every particle you can and pull it inside of yourself. You have a myelin sheath and a head covering. Most people have horns. That is the human afterlife. Scientologists remove this 11-dimensional part of us and they chop it to pieces. Every 3 dimensions, you get a cleave. You wind up with 4 biologies. And they utilize body parts from other organisms, even other species, to help you function again. They utilize lizard body parts, or reptilian body parts, insect body parts, and other worm. They like to use worms, worm body parts. So they're making insectoids, lizard people, worm people, and alien forms. That's what Scientology does. They remove their extra dimensional biology, or their inverse, and they modify it into vehicles that can drive around in the upper dimensions while they are still among the living. Heaven is for dead people. They are destroying our environment. When we die, we are supposed to go fly into outer space. Our genetics are designed for it. We literally have a skin covering, a myelin sheath, and a head covering that allows us to survive the extremities of outer space. These people chop that to pieces, and they stay on Earth. They cleave everything. Say this cup has 11 dimensions. Say it's particle healthy. These people can grab this cup and pull the upper dimensions off of it. Then you're left with 3 dimensions. They remove the inverse from it. They are doing this to the whole world, to our water supply, and to the people that live on this earth. Yes, they just destroyed part of my brain, the area that I sleep in. They have it in their possession. They have my inverse in their possession. Say they're trying to fix my brain with somebody else's neurons that don't work. No, it don't work. We are entangled to our inverse. If it's removed from us, we are still in it. They just want it to look like. They want to cover up the evidence. They've never met a genius before, a creative, an intellectual. They got to kidnap me and exploit me for this reason. They have God complexes. They keep saying they are above the law. Nobody polices the inverse side of the universe. They are allowed to get away with whatever they want to do. I'm very sick. They don't want me to have any pleasure at all. They don't want me to have the pleasure of sleeping because it feels good to sleep. They torture me, mutilate me while I sleep. They make me experience bad dreams. He's a psychopath, kidnapping. If I have a thought he don't like, he says, destroys brain tissue and assaults me. I'm thinking about going to the hospital today, getting more scans done. This time I'm going to demand to see them myself and try to point out what's going on. Scientology has invaded every institution in our society. Media companies, marketing companies, internet, social media, tech companies, big business, politics, or the government, politicians, CIA, the FBI, the military. They all have Scientologists working. And these institutions, they obey Scientology. It is a criminal enterprise. They are utilizing technology and our heavenly abilities to try to control the population for personal gain. So now their excuses are eating me. Our dead people don't eat humans. We don't eat the living. We fly into outer space. We never return to Earth. They call it breathing the nether. We breathe gas. It keeps us fulfilled or fulfills us. Okay, baby. They keep saying like father, like daughter, and they hurt my animals. They like to do the same thing to them they're doing to me. So these are the people that have been communicating with me, both in the world and on my phone. Radio companies, local radio companies, MPB, NPR, Facebook, Microsoft, and other people like them. Social media CEOs, tech companies, politicians, the CIA, the FBI, and the military, and local police, and also people in my environment, coworkers, neighbors, friends. Every once in a while, they say something strange that pertains to this narrative in which is going on my phone service. So these people have done this to my family, my animals, my coworkers, my neighbors, my community, in an attempt to control my environment. And a lot of people steal things from me. Being threatened. So they keep victim shaming me. They're saying it's my fault. And they're trying to come up with a false narrative in which says I'm a bad person. It somehow justifies their violent behavior towards me. This was kidnapping, exploitation, intellectual property theft, and surrogate making that turned into a snuff film. This my dad is a surrogate. He has a big skull and bones tattoo. I am bound by the Constitution of the United States and nothing else. These people give me special laws to follow. They try to control me. This is torture, rape, murder, exploitation, home invasion, invasion of privacy, forcing people to hear voices and hallucinate. Weapons of mass destruction, attacking an American citizen on American soil. When Scientologists cut our Anunnakis to pieces, they have to have a life support system or body parts from another organism to help this biology function. You need the whole thing to survive. So they got to take body parts from other organisms, other humans, and other species to create a full working biology. They like to cut themselves along the dimensional lines. Every 3 dimensions, they'll cut themselves. So they wind up with 4 biologies in total, including our third. They have to have an energy source to survive. They can't survive on their own. We have what they call a soul tube. I don't know if it's a modified body part or what. They run electricity through it. It's part of it is a sexual organ. It comes out in our groin area. It has a little tympanic looking thing on it, like a little drum. It sits on top of our sits right behind our prostate. There's nerves and blood vessels inside of it. It goes up our back and into our brain. They stick a rod. They cut a hole in our groin and stick a rod up in us and run electricity through it. And that's how they're able to survive. That's part of their Scientology practices. I'm gonna say everything. You won't stop. I'm extremely sick. They keep torturing me over and over and over again. I was barely able to sleep before last night. Had very few neurons functioning in that brain piece. Last night they went on ahead and killed it. They don't understand normal sleep patterns. We go through several stages of sleep every night. First, we have REM sleep, where we have dreams. They call it waking dreams. Then we have alpha, beta, delta sleep, where our entire brain shut down. There's no electrochemical energy whatsoever, or very little. These people don't sleep ever. When they close their eyes or they go to sleep, they access their upper dimensions. It's abnormal.